guys, how's it going? Laura with Garden Answer. Today I want to show you how to rejuvenate your annuals by giving them a little haircut mid-season. So usually about this time of year, July, August, when it's been really hot, your annuals can start looking a little bit tired. So it's either from the heat, or if they're looking a little bit stringy or leggy, it could be because they're not getting enough fertilizer or enough light. So make sure that they are getting those two things. But you can see here I've got in this container an Alberta spruce as my centerpiece, and then Super Tunia Royal Magenta around it, which is looking beautiful. The flowers are gorgeous, but it is looking a little bit stringy here toward the bottom. You can see the long kind of stems here with not as many flowers on them, and I want to see more flowers than I do foliage. So what I want to do is show you how to shear back your annuals and give you a few tips related to that. So the first tip is to do it in the cool of the day, and that kind of goes for all gardening this time of year. It's easier on us, it's easier on the plants if you can do it either first thing in the morning or later on in the evening. The second tip is to make sure to only take up to 20% of the plant off, because the plant still needs foliage in order to soak in the sun, so it has energy to produce more foliage and more blooms. The third thing is to provide some protection to your annuals after you've done your shearing. So this will kind of depend. Most of the time we're shearing up from underneath and we're kind of just tightening up the edges. If you have to take off some, if there's some leggy growth up top, which I'm not going to take off any today, but if you need to do that, you have to consider that that foliage that's underneath has not been exposed to direct sunlight, and it can damage and shock the plant. So if you have the ability to move your container to a protected spot for a couple days, that's better for your plant, or throw an umbrella up for a day or two. So now I want to show you how to shear them up, and we are going to be sacrificing some blooms today. I know it's really hard to cut anything off of your plant that has a bloom, but they will respond with so much more blooms that it's worth it in the end. So what I'm going to do today is just kind of shear up these leggy branches up to where most of our growth is up here. And that's what you'll do, like a hanging basket situation or a pot. You'll just take your growth up right to about in line with the bottom of the basket or the pot. For larger containers like this, I take it right up to where the mass of growth is. So I'm just taking some scissors, it makes it easy, and I'm just going to cut all of this growth off down here. So every plant's going to look a little bit different when you get done shearing them, because it'll depend. It'll depend on how your plant's already growing and whether or not you have it a hanging basket or in a large container like this. But you get the idea. We took all of this off right here. So now this plant is not going to have to send energy into keeping all these leggy branches alive. It could send that energy into producing more fresh growth and more blooms. And that brings me to my fourth tip, which is to fertilize it. So I've got these on a weekly fertilizing schedule with water-soluble fertilizer, which I've got right here, and I'll continue to keep them on that schedule. But it's also a good time to add some more slow-release fertilizer. This is something that I add to the soil when I plant. So what I'm going to do is just put some on top of the soil. I'm just going to spread it out in there, and it is heat activated, so it should start feeding them right away. So that's it, you guys. I know it's kind of hard to do, to cut off growth that has any color on it whatsoever. It feels a little bit counterintuitive, but your plants will really thank you for it. I mean, check this out. Look at this long leggy branch. The plant was sending energy to keep this alive with like one or two little scant blooms on the end. I want this plant sending energy into big blooms and more compact, beautiful growth, not keeping stringy stuff alive like this. So it's something that I really encourage you to do this time of year. Your plants will thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.